I caught my husband comforting my pregnant sister in my bed. My family chose them and disowned me. I knew the second I opened my bedroom door. The way her hand jerked away from his chest. The way his eyes went wide but not surprised. Just caught. My little sister. 6 months pregnant. Sitting on my bed next to my husband of 4 years. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just stood there holding the grocery bags, milk dripping onto our hardwood floor, and watched them try to create distance that didn't exist anymore. She was pregnant. He was touching her. In our bedroom. Our bedroom. The bag slipped from my hands. Eggs cracked. Glass shattered. Neither of them moved to help. It's not what it looks like, she said. It never is. But here's the thing nobody tells you about betrayal: your body knows before your brain accepts it. My hands were shaking so hard I had to grip the doorframe. My vision tunneled until all I could see was her hand, the one that had been on his chest, now resting protectively on her swollen belly. And somewhere deep in my gut, I realized I'd known for weeks. Maybe months. The way he'd started working late. Coming home smelling like her perfume. The perfume I'd bought her for her birthday. The way she'd stopped calling me back. Started canceling our sister lunch dates. Avoided eye contact at family dinners. The way she'd shown up pregnant and glowing, refusing to name the father. Crying about how complicated it was. How the guy wasn't ready to be a dad. How she needed our support. I'd made excuses. I'd told myself stories. I'd been so monumentally, catastrophically stupid. Get out, I whispered. Emma stood up, one hand on her belly, and I hated her for that gesture. For using that baby, my husband's baby, as a shield. As if being pregnant somehow made this okay. Made this forgivable. Please, just let me explain, she said, and her voice cracked. She was crying. She was crying like she was the victim here. Get out. My voice didn't sound like mine. It sounded feral. Broken. Like something had ripped open inside my chest and this raw, wounded thing was clawing its way out. My husband, Marcus, he didn't even try to defend himself. He just looked at me with this empty expression, like he'd already left months ago and I was the last one to know. Like this moment, this awful, life-destroying moment, was just a formality. They walked out together. Down my stairs. Through my front door. Into his car. I watched from the window as he drove her away. His hand reached over, probably to comfort her. To tell her it would be okay. That I'd calm down. That we'd figure this out. I stood there until the taillights disappeared, then I walked to the kitchen and stared at the mess. Broken eggs bleeding into the hardwood. Shattered glass glittering in the afternoon light. Milk spreading in a white pool. I got down on my hands and knees and started cleaning. Picking up glass. Wiping up milk. Scrubbing egg yolk out of the cracks in the floor. My hands were bleeding. I didn't notice until I saw red mixing with the yellow. Let me back up, because you need to understand how we got here. How a woman ends up on her kitchen floor, bleeding and broken, cleaning up the physical mess while her life implodes around her. Marcus and I met in college. Sophomore year. He was in my psychology class. Stable. Maybe boring to some people, but safe. Reliable. He showed up when he said he would. He remembered my coffee order. He never made me guess where I stood. We dated for 3 years before he proposed. Got married the summer after graduation. Bought a house 2 years later. A real house with a mortgage and a yard and neighbors who waved. We built a life. A quiet, stable, unremarkable life. We talked about kids but kept putting it off because of my career. I'm a content creator. Started with 500 followers talking about book reviews and mental health. Grew to 25,000 over 4 years of consistent posting, brand deals, and learning the algorithm. It wasn't huge, but it was mine. It paid half our mortgage. Marcus supported it. Or I thought he did. You're so driven, he used to say. I love that about you. Past tense. I didn't notice when it shifted. My sister, Emma, she's 5 years younger. 26 to my 31. Always been the mess. The wild one. The daughter my parents worried about while I was the one they bragged about. She dropped out of 2 colleges. Partied too hard. Dated men who treated her like garbage. Moved back in with our parents 3 times before she was 25. I helped her every single time. Got her a job at a marketing firm through a connection. Let her crash at our place when she fought with Dad. Loaned her money I never expected to see again. I loved her. She was my baby sister. Protecting her was instinct. She met Marcus at our 4th anniversary dinner 8 months ago. I'd invited her because she'd just broken up with another loser, and I didn't want her spending the night alone and depressed. I remember everything about that night. The restaurant had string lights and Italian music. Marcus ordered the lobster ravioli. Emma wore a blue dress I'd helped her pick out. She hugged him when she arrived. Called him the perfect brother-in-law. Toasted to us. To forever. I felt proud showing off my stable life to my chaotic little sister. Look at what I built. Look at what's possible when you make good choices. I'm such an idiot. The signs were everywhere after that night. Everywhere. But I was so convinced of my own narrative, so sure that I had the good marriage and the loyal sister, that I explained away every single red flag. Marcus started texting more. Always angled away from me. When I asked who it was, he'd say work. Or his brother. Or his friend Jake, who I'd met exactly twice. Jake's going through a divorce, he'd explain. He needs someone to talk to. I believed him. Because why wouldn't I? We didn't lie to each other. That was our thing. Honesty above everything. Emma suddenly became interested in coming over. She'd show up unannounced with wine and Thai food on nights when I was filming content. Don't mind me, she'd say. I'll just hang with Marcus while you work. I was grateful. I thought she was finally becoming an adult. Taking an interest in my life. Bonding with my husband like family should. She'd stay for hours. They'd watch movies. Play video games. I'd hear them laughing from my office and feel this warm glow. My two favorite people getting along. The week she told us she was pregnant, Marcus was weird. Quiet. He said he was stressed about work. I made him tea and rubbed his shoulders and told him everything would be okay. You're always taking care of everyone, he said. It didn't sound like a compliment. Emma announced the pregnancy at Sunday family dinner. She was crying. Mom was furious. Dad demanded to know who the father was. It's complicated, Emma sobbed. He's not ready for this. I can't tell you yet. I held her hand under the table. Told her we'd support her no matter what. That whoever this guy was, he was an idiot for not seeing how lucky he was. Marcus excused himself to the bathroom. He was gone for 20 minutes. My friends noticed before I did. Jessica, my best friend since high school, pulled me aside at a coffee shop 3 months before I caught them. Is everything okay with you and Marcus? She asked. Yeah, why? I saw him and Emma at the park last week. They were sitting really close. It just seemed, I don't know, off. I laughed. Literally laughed. Emma's pregnant and emotional. Marcus is being supportive. That's what family does. Jessica looked like she wanted to say more but didn't. I wish she had. I wish she'd grabbed me by the shoulders and shook me and made me see. Another friend, David, mentioned seeing Marcus's car at Emma's apartment at midnight. Just checking in, he said casually. Too casually. He was probably dropping something off for her, I said. She's been sick with morning sickness. The explanations came so easily. I had an answer for everything. Because the alternative, the truth, was too horrible to even consider. My husband wouldn't cheat on me. Especially not with my sister. Especially not with my pregnant sister. Because that would mean the baby might be his. And if the baby was his, then they'd been doing this for months. And if they'd been doing this for months, then every moment of my life was a lie. So I chose denial. I wrapped myself in it like a security blanket and told myself I had a good life. A stable marriage. A loving family. I chose wrong. The day I caught them, I wasn't supposed to be home. I was supposed to be filming content at a brand collaboration event downtown. But the event got cancelled last minute. Equipment failure. I texted Marcus to let him know I'd be home early. He didn't respond. That should have been my first clue. I texted Emma to see if she wanted to grab lunch. She didn't respond either. That should have been my second clue. I stopped at the grocery store. Picked up ingredients for the dinner I was planning to make. Marcus loved my chicken piccata. I was going to surprise him. I pulled into our driveway at 2:47 p.m. I know because I checked my phone before getting out. I had a notification from Instagram. My latest post was doing well. I smiled. I walked into my house carrying bags full of food for a man who was upstairs touching my sister. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Marcus's car was in the driveway, so I knew he was home. But the TV wasn't on. No music. No sound at all. I walked upstairs. Our bedroom door was closed. That was unusual. We never closed it during the day unless we were sleeping. I opened it without knocking because why would I knock on my own bedroom door? And there they were. They weren't having sex. That almost would have been cleaner. Easier to categorize as just physical. Just a mistake. No. They were sitting on my bed, fully clothed, and Emma was crying. Marcus had his arm around her shoulders. His hand was on her belly. On the belly that held his baby. They were having an intimate moment. A tender moment. A moment that belonged in a relationship. They had a relationship. The realization hit me like a physical blow. This wasn't a one-time mistake. This wasn't a drunken hookup they regretted. This was ongoing. This had history. This had feelings. Marcus loved her. That's what I saw in his face when he looked at her. Not guilt. Not shame. Love. And when he finally looked at me, standing in the doorway with my stupid grocery bags, he looked annoyed. Annoyed that I'd interrupted. Annoyed that he had to deal with this now instead of later. I told them to get out, and they left. Together. Like they were the couple and I was the inconvenient third party. I cleaned up broken eggs with bleeding hands and realized my entire life was built on lies. That night, I sat alone in our house and tried to piece together the timeline. When did it start? Was it at our anniversary dinner? Before? After? Did they plan this? Did they try to stop? Did he compare us? Did he think about her when he was with me? The questions multiplied like cancer cells. Each one spawning 3 more. I couldn't stop. Couldn't turn off my brain. My phone buzzed. Emma. I need to tell you the truth. Can we talk? The truth. As if she hadn't been lying to me for months. As if one conversation could possibly explain this away. I blocked her number. Then I stared at my phone, waiting for it to ring again from a different number. It didn't. Marcus called an hour later. I answered because I'm weak. Because some pathetic part of me wanted him to have an explanation that made sense. That made this not what it obviously was. I'm sorry, he said. His voice was thick. He was crying. Good. I hoped he was drowning in it. I never meant for this to happen, he continued. It started as friendship. Emma was going through stuff and you were always working and she needed someone and I needed. Stop. He stopped. Is it yours? My voice didn't sound like mine. It sounded mechanical. Dead. Is the baby yours? The pause stretched. 5 seconds. 10. 20. Marcus. Is the baby yours? Yes. 1 word. 3 letters. My entire life ending in a single syllable. How long? I asked. What? How long have you been sleeping with my sister? Another pause. Since your anniversary dinner. 8 months. They've been doing this for 8 months. She got pregnant 3 months in. They kept going even after. Even as her belly grew with his child. Even as I helped her through morning sickness and bought her maternity clothes and threw her a baby shower. The baby shower. I'd thrown my sister a baby shower for the child she was having with my husband. I laughed. It came out wrong. Hysterical. Unhinged. Are you okay? Marcus asked. Am I okay? I repeated. Am I okay? You're asking me if I'm okay? I know this is hard, but... Get your things out of my house. You have 24 hours. After that, I'm changing the locks and anything left inside goes in the garbage. We should talk about... I hung up. Then I threw my phone across the room. It hit the wall and exploded into pieces. Screen. Battery. Case. All separated. All broken. Good. Let it break. Let everything break. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the couch with every light in the house on because I couldn't bear the darkness. Couldn't bear being alone with my thoughts in the quiet. I scrolled through photos on my laptop. Our wedding. His smile at the altar. My dress. Our first dance. Had he thought about Emma even then? Had he looked at my little sister in her bridesmaid dress and wanted her? Holidays with Emma. Her sitting on his lap at Christmas. Sitting on his lap. I'd taken the photo. Thought it was cute. Family bonding. Her baby shower I'd organized last month. The theme was Oh Baby. I'd bought her maternity clothes. A breast pump. Diapers. I'd held her hand when she cried about being scared. Told her everything would be okay. That whoever the father was, we'd support her. We. I'd said we. Marcus and I together we'd support her. Together we'd raise his child with my sister. I slammed the laptop shut and screamed. Just screamed until my throat was raw and my voice gave out. The next morning, I looked like death. Eyes swollen. Face blotchy. Hair a mess. I didn't care. I called the locksmith. Changed every lock. Took everything of Marcus's and piled it in the front yard. His clothes. His gaming system. His photos. His childhood baseball cards he treasured. I watched from the window as he loaded it into his car. Emma was with him. Of course she was. They were a team now. She looked up at the house. I didn't hide. Let her see me. Let her see what she did. She looked away first. My dad called while they were still loading. We need to have a family meeting. Your mother and I want everyone to sit down and work this out. Work this out? I laughed. It sounded unhinged even to me. Dad, she's pregnant with my husband's baby. I know. And that's exactly why we need to talk. This family has been through worse. No. We haven't. Saturday. Our house. Both of you need to be there. Both of who? You and Emma. We need to figure out how to move forward. This family doesn't fall apart just because people make mistakes. Mistakes. He called it mistakes. I'm not coming. Yes, you are. You're my daughter and you'll be there. The command in his voice was so familiar. So Dad. The voice that had made me clean my room and do my homework and be the good daughter while Emma partied and got away with everything. Fine, I said. Not because I wanted to. But because saying no to my father was something I'd never learned how to do. He hung up without saying goodbye. Saturday came. I woke up at 5 a.m. after another sleepless night. I'd lost 8 pounds in 5 days. My clothes hung wrong. My face looked skeletal. I dressed carefully. Armor. A nice dress. Makeup to hide the damage. Hair styled. If I was going to be destroyed, I'd look put together while it happened. I drove to my childhood home in a daze. The house looked the same. Yellow siding. White shutters. The oak tree I climbed as a kid. Everything frozen in time while my life exploded. Emma's car was already there. So was Marcus's. Of course he was invited. Of course. Because this wasn't about taking my side. This was about managing the scandal. About making sure the family looked okay from the outside. I sat in my car for 10 minutes, trying to breathe. Trying to prepare for whatever was about to happen. Some instinct was screaming at me to drive away. To leave and never come back. I should have listened. I walked in without knocking. My house too. Or it used to be. They were all in the living room. Mom on the couch next to Emma, holding her hand. Dad in his chair, the king on his throne. Marcus standing by the fireplace like he belonged here. Like he was family. He was family. By marriage. My marriage. The one he destroyed. Sit down, sweetheart, Mom said. I sat. Alone. On the opposite side of the room from my crying, pregnant sister. Nobody sat next to me. That told me everything I needed to know about how this was going to go. Dad cleared his throat. His time for serious talk throat clear. I'd heard it 1,000 times growing up. Usually before he lectured Emma about her grades or her boyfriends or her choices. Not this time. We've all talked, he started. And we think the best solution is for everyone to move forward with grace. Grace? I repeated. The word felt foreign in my mouth. Emma made a mistake. Marcus made a mistake. But there's a baby coming, and that baby is family. That baby is innocent in all of this. I looked at my mother. She wouldn't meet my eyes. She just kept patting Emma's hand. Comforting her. The way she used to comfort me when I fell off my bike or failed a test or got my heart broken by my first boyfriend. Not now. Now her comfort was reserved for the daughter who destroyed me. What are you saying? I asked, even though I knew. I could feel it coming like a wave about to crash. Dad leaned forward. Put on his serious face. His I'm about to drop wisdom face. We're saying that Marcus and Emma are going to get married. And you're going to support your sister through this transition. She needs family now more than ever. The room tilted. I gripped the chair arm to steady myself. You want me to what? It's the right thing to do, Mom said quietly, finally looking at me. Her eyes were wet. But not for me. For Emma. The baby needs a father. Emma needs stability. And you. You're strong. You've always been strong. You'll find someone else. You're successful and pretty and you have your whole life ahead of you. Each word was a knife. You're strong. Translation, you can take it. You've always been the one who can take it. I turned to Marcus. He was looking at the floor like a coward. Like he couldn't even face what he was doing. You agreed to this? I asked him. You agreed to marry my sister? He finally looked up. Met my eyes. And in that moment, I saw the truth I'd been avoiding. I love her, he said. Simple. Final. No apology. No shame. Just fact. I love her. Not I'm sorry. Not I'll make this right. Not I know I destroyed you. Just, I love her. Emma sobbed harder, her whole body shaking with it. I never wanted to hurt you, she choked out. It just happened. We tried to stop. We tried so hard. But we couldn't. The connection was too strong. The connection. They had a connection. I stood up. Every eye in the room locked on me. Waiting to see what I'd do. Waiting to see if I'd be the good daughter one more time. If I'd swallow this like I'd swallowed every other thing they'd asked of me. So let me get this straight, I said. My voice was calm. Too calm. The calm before violence. He cheated on me with my sister. Got her pregnant. And your solution is for me to congratulate them and move on? To support them? To be happy for them? Dad's jaw tightened. I knew that look. That you're being difficult look. That why can't you just go along with it look. Don't be dramatic, he said. This is about family. About doing what's best for everyone. I am your family. I screamed it. The words ripped out of me with 4 years of being the good daughter. The strong daughter. The daughter who never caused problems. And so is she, Dad shot back. And so is that baby. That innocent baby who didn't ask for any of this. You're being selfish. Thinking only of yourself when there's a child involved. Selfish. I was being selfish. For not wanting to watch my husband marry my sister. For not wanting to be auntie to their child. For not wanting to smile and pretend everything was okay while they built a life on the ashes of mine. I looked at my mother. This woman who raised me. Who taught me to be kind and forgiving and always put family first. She was crying now, but not for me. Never for me. Please, Mom whispered. She's your sister. She's your baby sister. She needs you. But I needed them. I needed my mother to hold me while I fell apart. I needed my father to rage at Marcus for what he'd done. I needed my sister to never have touched my husband. I needed a family that chose me. No, I said. One word. 2 letters. The first time in my life I'd ever said it to them. Dad's face went red. Excuse me? I said no. No to this insane plan. No to supporting them. No to pretending this is okay. No to all of it. You don't get to say no, Dad said. His voice dropped. Dangerous. This is happening whether you like it or not. The question is whether you're going to be part of this family or not. There it was. The ultimatum. Them or me. My sister or my dignity. Their comfort or my pain. Then I guess I'm not part of this family anymore. Mom gasped. Emma sobbed louder. Marcus looked relieved. Dad looked furious. Don't be ridiculous, Dad said. Sit down and let's talk about this like adults. Adults? I laughed. Adults don't ask their daughter to forgive her sister for sleeping with her husband. Adults don't ask someone to watch their betrayers get married. Adults don't make the victim apologize for having feelings. You're being hysterical, Dad said. I'm being honest. For the first time in my life, I'm being honest instead of nice. And you can't handle it. I grabbed my purse. Turned toward the door. Behind me, Emma called my name. Then Marcus. Then Mom. Let her go, I heard Dad say. She'll come around. She always does. That was the line that changed everything. She always does. She always comes around. She always forgives. She always takes it. Not this time. I walked out. Got in my car. Drove away from the house I grew up in and never looked back. My phone exploded before I even made it home. Extended family. Cousins. Aunts. Uncles. All of them telling me to forgive. To think of the baby. To stop tearing the family apart. I blocked them all. Every single one. Then I called a lawyer. The divorce papers were filed by Wednesday. Marcus didn't contest anything. Why would he? He'd already moved on. Already started his new life with my sister in my parents' house like this was always the plan. I wanted to fight for the house. Our house. The one we bought together with money we both earned. But his lawyer played the sympathy card. His fiancée is pregnant and needs a stable home. Can your client really justify taking that away from an expectant mother? The judge ate it up. Marcus got the house. I got half its value. A check that felt like blood money. I signed the papers in a strip mall law office. The lawyer kept telling me I was doing the right thing. Taking the high road. Being mature. I wasn't being mature. I was being destroyed. But nobody wanted to see that. It was easier to tell me I was strong. The money sat in my bank account like a corpse. I couldn't touch it. Couldn't spend it. It was proof that everything I'd built could be quantified and divided and taken away. I moved into a one-bedroom apartment across town. First floor. Beige walls. Carpet that smelled like old cigarettes. The kind of place you move to when your life falls apart and you're just trying to survive. I hauled my stuff in alone. Bed. Desk. Clothes. My camera equipment for content creation. I set it up in the corner and stared at it for 3 days before I could bring myself to turn it on. My followers had noticed my absence. Comments piling up asking if I was okay. Where did I go? When was I posting again? They missed me. They missed a version of me that didn't exist anymore. I tried to film. Put on makeup. Set up the ring light. Smiled at the camera. Hey everyone, I'm back. Sorry for the absence. Life got a little crazy but. I watched the playback. My smile didn't reach my eyes. My voice sounded hollow. I looked like a corpse doing a TikTok. I deleted it. Tried again. Deleted again. Tried again. After the 15th take, I gave up. Posted nothing. Watched my follower count start to drop. 25,000. 24,800. 24,500. The algorithm was punishing me for my silence. But I had nothing to say. Nothing that didn't sound like a scream. 3 months after I moved out, Emma had the baby. A girl. They named her Rose. After our grandmother. Our dead grandmother who would have been horrified by what Emma did. But dead people don't get a vote. I found out on Facebook. The photo got 347 likes in the first hour. Marcus holding this tiny bundle wrapped in pink. Emma glowing in a hospital bed, makeup perfect, hair styled. My parents on either side, beaming like proud grandparents. The caption, Our little miracle. We're so blessed. Thank you to everyone who supported us through this journey. Our journey. They turned their affair into a journey. Their betrayal into a blessing. The comments were worse. Congratulations. She's beautiful. So happy for you guys. What a gorgeous family. Family. They were a family now? And I was the bitter ex who couldn't let go. I reported the photo. Facebook reviewed it and found no violation. Apparently destroying your sister's life doesn't violate community standards. My cousin Jessica commented, "Love this. About time we all moved forward." I blocked her. Then I went through the comments and blocked everyone who congratulated them. Aunts. Uncles. Friends. Family friends. Everyone who chose their happiness over my pain. My block list got so long Facebook thought I was a spam account. I know what you're thinking. Move on. Let it go. Build a new life. Stop being bitter. I tried. I threw myself into creating content again. Made myself film. Made myself post. But everything changed. I couldn't do lifestyle content anymore. Couldn't post about relationships or family or happiness. It all felt like lies. So I pivoted. Started talking about betrayal. Family dysfunction. What it's like to be the scapegoat. The dark side of family-first culture. My followers responded. The count started climbing again. 26,000. 28,000. 30,000. But the comments got darker too. Have you considered that maybe you did something to push him away? It takes two to make a relationship fail. Maybe if you'd been home more instead of working. Women need to stop pitting themselves against each other. Your sister was struggling. Every comment was a new way to blame me. New ways to say that somehow, I deserved this. I turned off comments. My engagement tanked. The algorithm punished me again. I dropped back to 27,000. Brands stopped reaching out. The income dried up. I had to get a regular job for the first time in 3 years. Retail. Folding clothes at a department store while wearing a name tag and taking orders from a 22-year-old manager. My coworkers asked about my life. I kept it vague. Divorced. Fresh start. They didn't need to know the rest. Didn't need to know that my family had chosen my husband over me. That sounded crazy. Made me sound crazy. 6 months post-divorce, I was living in a beige apartment, working retail, creating content nobody engaged with, and eating dinner alone every night while scrolling through photos of my ex-husband's new family. I was obsessed. I knew it was unhealthy. My therapist, Dr. Chen, told me to stop looking. To block them. To move on. I couldn't. I needed to see. Needed to watch them build the life they stole from me. Needed proof that this was real. That my family really chose them. Marcus proposed to Emma when Rose was 3 months old. Posted it on Instagram. Down on one knee in my parents' backyard. The same backyard where he'd proposed to me 6 years earlier. Different woman. Same knee. Same yard. Same lies about forever. Emma said yes. Of course she said yes. She'd already won. The proposal was just paperwork. They set a date. 6 months out. Just enough time for Emma to lose the baby weight and fit into a dress. My mother called. First time in months. I think you should come to the wedding, she said. No hello. No how are you? Just straight to the demand. You're joking. I'm not. It would mean a lot to Emma. Show that you've moved on. That there's no hard feelings. No hard feelings? I repeated. Mom, she's marrying my husband. Ex-husband. You're divorced. It's time to move forward. I am moving forward. Away from all of you. Don't be like this. She's your sister. She wants you there. She wants me there so she can feel better about what she did. So everyone can see how gracious and forgiving I am. So she can pretend this is normal? It is normal. People fall in love. It's not always convenient, but it's real. Real. Their love was real. Mine was just inconvenient. I'm not coming. Your father will be very disappointed. And there it was. The manipulation. The guilt. The reminder that I was still the daughter who disappointed when I didn't play along. Good, I said, and hung up. She didn't call back. My friends tried to help. The ones I had left. Jessica, my best friend who'd warned me months before I caught them, took me out for drinks. I'm worried about you, she said. You're not yourself anymore. I don't know who myself is anymore. The woman I know is strong and funny and creative. She doesn't let people destroy her. That woman died when she found her sister in bed with her husband. They weren't in bed. You said they were just sitting. I stared at her. Does that matter? I'm just saying, maybe it wasn't physical yet. Maybe they were trying to figure things out. Maybe. Stop. I'm trying to help. By defending them? By helping you see it from all angles. Emma was vulnerable. Marcus was feeling neglected. These things happen. These things happen. Cheating. Betrayal. Sisters stealing husbands. These things happen. I think I need to go, I said. Don't be like that. I'm on your side. No, you're not. People on my side don't make excuses for them. I left cash on the table and walked out. Jessica texted me 17 times that night. I blocked her number. I was running out of people to block. Another friend, David, tried a different approach. Set me up on a blind date. You need to get back out there, he said. Show yourself you can still find happiness. The date was a disaster. Nice guy. Good job. Normal? He asked about my family. I said we didn't talk. He asked why. I said it was complicated. He pressed. I finally told him. Wait, your sister is married to your ex-husband? Not yet. They're engaged. And your parents are okay with this? They arranged it. He looked at me like I'd grown a second head. That's insane. Yeah. And you're the bad guy for being upset? Apparently. He paid for dinner. Walked me to my car. Said he'd call. He never did. I didn't blame him. Who wants to date the woman with the soap opera life? The woman whose family is so dysfunctional it. People like me don't get happy endings. We just get quieter lives.